Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
An Indian sailed to navigate the maritime environment. Okay, so here the writer is having the context that PM's address at UNSC debate on cooperation in maritime security. The same 5 principles in the earlier lectures we talked about those 5 principles, how they are relevant to India's tradition, history as well as geography and the geopolitical aspect. Right. So all these we have to discuss here. So maritime tradition and culture that we have since ancient times. Since ancient times, there has been focus on the maritime trade, or we can say that there are some kind of linkages with the other cultures. For example, we can talk about Indus Valley civilization, how it has linkages with the other civilizations 4005 years ago. Right, so here you can talk about the Lothal city in Gujarat, which had the dockyard. We found the dockyard in Lothal city. So surely that was having the trade with Mesopotamia. We found that. The second aspect you should talk about here, like during 15th century, Vasco da Gama traveled from Zanzibar to India's western coast, and the sailor, the captain of the, we can say, ship was Indian Gujarati, who shipped him to India's coast. At the same time, you can talk about Hinduism and Buddhism spread to Southeast Asia through maritime route. So these are the example. Even you can say Islam from India spread to southeastern nations like Indonesia through maritime route. Okay, so this is how the traditional and ancient links are there regarding the maritime aspect. Then the relevance of Sagar ideology that was mentioned by our Prime Minister, security and growth for all in the region. This is the doctrine that we follow. Our Prime Minister has given this doctrine, Sagar, and we focus on this particular doctrine whenever we talk about the maritime cooperation. Okay, so how it is relevant? We should understand that 90% of global trade, global maritime trade happens through high seas. So this trade needs to be protected. We have seen recently how Suez Canal was blocked by that evergreen ship, and because of that 7-day blockade was created. This affected the global trade significantly. In 1956, when this Suez Canal was nationalized by Egypt, how the global players like UK, France, they intervened at that time. So this shows the importance of global maritime trade and these routes, and therefore the focus should be on this aspect, security and growth for all in the region. This is much relevant, and therefore India has a role to play in this aspect. Now, peaceful settlement of maritime dispute on the basis of international law. This was also one of the 5 principles mentioned by our Prime Minister, and how India plays important role. In 2014, Permanent Court of Arbitration gave award in favor of Bangladesh, largely between India and Bangladesh maritime dispute, and India accepted that and implemented that, and therefore the relationship between India and Bangladesh improved because of that. But in 2016, when this same court, Permanent Court of Arbitration, gave the award in favor of Philippines, the maritime dispute between China and Philippines, So China summarily, we can say that, rejected that award. So this is not good thing. Okay, so the focus should be on solving this dispute on the basis of international law in a peaceful manner. So we can understand that this is also in line with India's traditional ethos of peace and non-violence. Okay, so this is important aspect. And India's role. Then India's role as first responder during natural disaster. So natural disaster, and we can say that the piracy, terrorist activities. So that is again one principle among those 5 principles. What is India's role? Yes, India's role is very important. Indian Coast Guards, they have developed, we can say, expertise both in environmental issues and dealing with piracy, especially in Arabian Sea. The piracy is very dominant in Arabian Sea. So Indian Coast Guard has developed expertise there. At the same time, India's role during tsunami, the relief work during tsunami of 2004, Boxing Day tsunami, we say that 26th December. At the same time, the same is the case when the Mauritius recently faced with oil spill. So India also provided the necessary inputs to deal with such environmental issues and protect the pristine environment, maritime environment of the region. In this manner, India has been the first responder to deal with such natural disasters as well as dealing with threats of piracy here. Fine. So you can write down how India has been playing the proactive role in that aspect. Then one of the principle was development of connectivity and infrastructure. So this is important aspect when we look at China's BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. So Maritime Silk Route under this BRI. So this is important initiative of China, but it also affects the sovereignty of the nation. It may also affects the maritime biodiversity, maritime ecosystem, unless and until such kind of investment in the infrastructure is not sustainable and environment friendly. So the other aspect against this China, the similar kind of project, so that is initiated by US, Australia and Japan, that is Blue Dot Network. Blue Dot Network. This is also good initiative. This provides accreditation and standardization to these projects so as to have further investment in those projects. Okay, so remember BRIs of China, and against that US, Australia, Japan initiative recently, Blue Dot Network. In this, connectivity and infrastructure in this regard. Now, the emphasis in the end, one of the importance is the presidential statement gives emphasis on solving the dispute and all the aspects related to maritime security and cooperation on the basis of international law. And that law at present is United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So yes, when India is emphasizing at UNSC such debate regarding international law, it will surely have some kind of effect in further signing and ratifying of this convention by all countries. At present, US has not ratified this United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So yes, surely when US will come forward, China will have some kind of pressure in adherence to this UN Convention on Law of Seas. Fine. So yes, what kind of question we can expect here? Freedom of navigation and unimpeded commerce are key to spread the prosperity. Discuss the role that India can play in this regard. So yes, in terms of freedom of navigation and we can say trade, commerce. So just focus on all these topics we just now talked where India can play a role in this aspect regarding piracy, regarding environmental issues, or if we can say peaceful settlement of maritime dispute, At the same time, you can also talk about the infrastructure and connectivity. Fine.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.